On the 8th of April 2018, Zainab Ali Nielsen was found dead in her kitchen alongside her 4-year-old daughter, Petra, with bruises on her face. They were found dead in their Banana Island home in Lagos, Nigeria. Now, who must have killed Zainab Ali Nielsen? Is it her husband, Mr. Peter Nielsen, or did she just simply die by suffocation of gas inhalation? So, let's get into this crime story. Ms. Zainab Ali Nielsen was a 37-year-old woman who hails from Kano State, northern Nigeria. She was married to Mr. Peter Nielsen, who is a white man of Danish descent, for 7 years. Together, they had a 4-year-old daughter, Petra Nielsen. They had no problem in their marriage, and problem only arise in their marriage around late 2017, where Zainab was in a state of coma in a hospital simply because her husband, Mr. Peter Nielsen, got her beaten. He later on signed an undertaking at the police that he will never beat her again. Her father, Ali Madaki, said, on the first glance of her husband, he was a wonderful man. He never thought or saw him as a violent person. But he was shocked when Zainab came over in Abuja one time and said he's not marrying Mr. Nielsen again, simply because Mr. Nielsen got her beaten. Mr. Nielsen came over to Abuja and apologized, and her father later on told Zainab to go back to her husband's home. The reporter asked her father, why did you let your daughter to go back to her husband's home after she came to you saying that her husband got her beaten? Her father said simply because Zainab never had ever reported that this man had beaten her, before, prior to the fact that prior to the time when she came home, saying that her husband had gotten her beaten. That is why the man begged and apologized that he will never ever beat his daughter again. That is why he led his daughter to go back to her matrimonial home with this man. It was on the 8th of April 2018 when Mr. Ali Madaki, Zainab's father, got a call from her husband, Mr. Peter Nielsen, that Zainab is dead. So he tried to ask him, like in shock, like, what are you saying? That my daughter is dead? Mr. Peter Nielsen dropped the phone. So while he was in shock, in his high state of perplexion, his daughter, Gift Madaki, called their mother and said their elder sister Zainab Ali Nielsen has been killed by her husband. She later on narrated the story. She said she heard when Mr. Ali Nielsen got her head, Zainab was crying for help, and Mr. Ali Nielsen was hitting her elder sister's head, on the wall. Now the question which arises is, you heard her husband, your elder sister's husband, beating her up to the extent where he was hitting her head on the wall. Why didn't you call the police, or why didn't you get out of the house and call other neighbors? Or why didn't you interfere to stop the fight? She said the man was so aggressive and she was scared that if she interfered, the man would descend on her too. Now, they lived in a secured neighborhood in Banana Island. For those who are Nigerian, who are viewers of my channel, you all understand Banana Island, where the houses are well secured with long fenced wall. So maybe it was impossible for Gift Madaki, Zainab's younger sister, who happens to be 12 years old, to really cry for help from neighbors or to call the police. But Mr. Peter Nielsen said that Zainab died out of gas suffocation. But according to the forensic team of the police, they said Zainab wasn't killed by gas suffocation, because when they came to the crime scene, they saw Zainab in the kitchen, yes, and bruises were on her face, and bruises was on her daughter's face. According to what the forensic team said, according to what they gathered as evidence, Zainab and her husband started fighting in their matrimonial bedroom, where he strangled her and killed their 4-year-old daughter Petra too. because bruises was found on her face. And when they carry out their investigation and they had to carry out their how they call this forensic lighting, it proved that there was blood on the floor from the matrimonial bedroom to the sink. And the police said when they got to the sink, they saw blood on the sink. It shows that Mr. Allen Nelson had killed Zainab by strangulation after getting her well beaten with bruises on her face, then killed his 4-year-old daughter, Petra, then carried the dead body and put in the kitchen and opened the gas bottle in the kitchen according to him, to create a crime scenario that they both died of gas inhalation, not physical violence between him and his wife. So the case had been pending in court since 2018. On 2022, the verdict was finally given. The judge who handled the case gave Mr. Peter Nielsen the death penalty. The death penalty. Yes, that is a very great verdict from that judge. He got the death penalty for killing his wife and their 4-year-old daughter, Petra. Now, the question which arises is, why did he kill the 4-year-old daughter? That is the most devastating thing, to kill that 4-year-old daughter. Like, why did he kill that 4-year-old daughter, Petra? What did that young girl do to her father? Like, why kill your 4-year-old daughter? The only thing which might arise out of it is the 4-year-old daughter must have seen how he strangled her mother, how her father strangled her mother. And to him, he was scared that this young 4-year-old girl can be used as a witness against him to prove that he killed his wife. So he decided to kill her too. But that was so cold-blooded from a father to kill his own daughter like that. Now the question which arises is, what was the reason behind their fighting? Now, according to what was online, people said she has been cheating on the man. That's why the man got angry and got her beaten the first time she was in coma, and got her beaten the second time, up to the extent she went back to her father's house in Abuja. The man came over and apologized. Then her father let Zainab again go live with her husband, Mr. Peter Nielsen, again. After 2 beatings, physical beating, the first she was in coma, the second she ran to her father's place. Then they said she kept on cheating on her white husband, Mr. Peter Nielsen, and this time she will never return again. Her husband got her beaten and killed her alongside their 4-year-old daughter. So guys, what really this crime story is so tricky, because it is so tricky. Why I said it's so tricky, because it wasn't just 3 of them living in that apartment house in Banana Island, Lagos. There were 5 of them. They were living, the husband Zainab and their 4-year-old daughter Petra, with 2 of Zainab's sisters who were 10 and 12 years old. So they both heard as how Zainab was being beaten by Mr. Peter Nielsen. Their elder sister was beaten by Mr. Peter Nielsen, but yet, they could not come over to separate, to sever their elder sister from Mr. Peter Nielsen, not to beat their sister again or cry for help. I know it is a well-secured apartment house with high wall gates and there is a security personnel there, but it doesn't make sense. The death of Zainab doesn't make sense. That Zainab was being killed while they were fighting, was being killed by her husband while her 2 sisters were living in the house. But I can also claim that I can also see that these two sisters were minors. They were just 10 and 12 years old, so they were scared that this man might kill them. So they decided to keep quiet. But to watch your sister being killed by her husband, and you just being 10 or 12 years old, you being unable to do anything, I don't know what to say. So, guys, what do you guys think of this crime story of Zainab Ali Nelson? I'd like to get your thoughts down on the comment section, and I would like to get you guys to rate this, this crime story, my presentation of this crime story from the from a scale of of 1 to 10, please. I'd like to get your thoughts. I love you all, but know Jesus Christ loves you more. Stay safe and be blessed. Bye bye.